Impatience is the word for 2026. We need to forget, gentlemen, the childish notions of motivation. We need to forget the childish notions of gumption. I don't feel like, how do I do? We need to forget these childish notions. Every single day you delay, every single day it takes you to reach the end goal, it becomes harder, nigh on impossible on a long enough time frame. You're attempting to climb a mountain. Every single day, the mountain grows. It gets higher, it gets taller. Rock emerges from the earth, from the tectonic plates. You do not have time to lack motivation. You do not have time to struggle with dedication. Your time is up. You must run to the top of the mountain instantly. The less time it takes you to get there, the less distance you have to climb. There is no longer any time for these childish notions of how do I find the dedication and motivation. All gone, because it is getting harder every single day. You cannot find a metric in the Western world, a single metric which is improving for men. It is harder to find a woman worth having. It is harder to afford children. It's harder to make money. It's less safe on the street. Your government hates you. Inflation's out of control. Crime is getting worse. There are more and more migrants arriving by the day. They rape the tax base. It is done. You do not have time anymore to be messaging me about motivation and dedication and how you manage to find the gumption to dedicate yourself to something. All of those childish notions are gone. There is no longer any cotton wool. There are no longer any rose-tinted glasses. There are people who understand it is panic stations, absolute impatience. Everything you've ever wanted, you must get now. And there are people who do not understand this, who are going to take a few steps up the mountain, then take a break, take a rest, go to sleep in their tent, and wake up having a larger climb than before they took any steps at all. You must panic, gentlemen, because things are going to get a whole bunch worse before they get better. So whatever plans you have that were for the middle of next year, that were due to take 6 to 12 months, whatever they are, they must disappear. You must instantly enact these plans. You must instantly take action, and you must aim for instant results. This is not just the result of the world getting worse. It is also the result of the speed of information increasing. Artificial intelligence is increasing the speed of information. If I want to know the size of a blue whale's baby, I don't need a marine biologist. I don't need to go to a university. I don't need to find a book and buy it. I don't have to look it up in a book. I ask Grok and it will tell me. It is that simple. As the speed of information increases exponentially, along with it, the opportunity, the length of opportunities will also decrease. Information is moving faster, meaning opportunities exist for a shorter period of time. You must take action. The very basic premise is impatience. What I am doing for 2026, and I am not giving you guys advice, I'm telling you what I am doing.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. If you think that you should listen to the man who has everything, then you should listen. And if not, don't. All of my plans for March, I'm starting now. All of my plans for next November, I am starting now. Because I have become massively impatient, very much like there is a comet or an asteroid heading for planet Earth. I now believe that every single day we wait, it's going to get harder and harder for anybody to achieve anything of significance. And that is happening for a few reasons. The first reason is because everyone now sees that the game is rigged. The game is rigged, and most people who have money just stole it.
Yeah. People at the top and people at the bottom are stealing from a working class and industrious class of people in the middle who are getting fucked from both sides. The double dildo.
And even worse is that everyone is waking up to this fact. And as people wake up, as most people realize how hopeless the fight is, how unfair the game is, how rigged everything is, a lot of people just simply black pill and doom. That is the answer, because most people don't have hope. You're watching our show. We give you hope. We give you a way out. We tell you it's going to be hard. We tell you it's going to be difficult, but we tell you it can be done if you dedicate yourself. You can have a life worth living. You can get rich. You can move to Singapore or Dubai or Tokyo and be rich and have a bunch of children and have a life worth living and build a family office which extracts money from the stock market as the inflation debases the currency, and you can live a life worth living. But most people just black pill and doom. And that is a problem. Because when the entire population is black-pilled and doomed, do you understand that it makes it harder for you to be successful in your world? Because it is a crab in a bucket mentality. Not only are they trying to drag you down, but most importantly, you can't make people believe in things anymore. Let me give you an example. Last year, you were trading meme coins. Now, you can't make money on meme coins because nobody believes in meme coins. You can't convince people to believe in them long enough for the price to go up. How are you supposed to have a business when everybody doesn't believe that they're hiring your service or working with you will improve their life? How are you supposed to make money when everyone around you believes it's over? The mass demoralization, which is coming from the, what's the word for something when you expect a fantastic ending and it doesn't come?
Anticipation?
No. Anticlimactic. From the anticlimactic 2025. Everybody is monumentally depressed and blackpilling and dooming. And that's going to make it harder for the winners to win, which is why it's so important you create your reality for 2026. And it's also why it's so important you become massively impatient. Every single day you wait to attempt anything, it becomes harder. Game theory. You're going to attempt to roll a 6 on a dice today. If you wait till tomorrow, it becomes a 7-sided dice. If you wait 2 days, it becomes an 8-sided dice. Every single day, it becomes harder. And it's going to get harder because the situation you're in is only going to get worse. Gentlemen, crime is going to keep going up. Fraud ain't going anywhere. Trump can't save anything. The Western world as we know it is imploding. Your way of life as you know it is imploding. And your chance to make money is going to get harder every single day as all the people who you would normally be interacting with, working with, selling to, collaborating with, realize this truth. You need to become monumentally impatient. Whatever your plans are for January 1st need to start today. You don't have 2 days to waste. Whatever your plans were for next summer need to happen now. Impatience is the word for 2026. And I've come to the conclusion with my quantum mind. The conclusion is this. The successful people in the world used to simply know what others do not know. There was an edge that was given to people by having information or knowledge. But knowledge has become so cheap and so accessible. Please imagine in the 1990s, you would go to a college or a university and you would pay $100,000 or $200,000 to learn about marine biology so that when someone like me, an ill-educated peasant, wanted to understand the birthing cycle of a blue whale, I'd have to hire your stupid ass to tell me about blue whales' babies. But now I can ask AI, explain to me like I'm 10, how blue whales have babies. Knowledge means nothing now. Knowledge means nothing. So how do we differentiate the winners from the losers? And I think it is differentiated by pure agency, pure attack, pure output. Energy, and pure power output, and pure impatience. I will argue this. In 2026, the only people who are going to be successful and make money are the monumentally impatient who take instant action right away, and whatever they're thinking of doing next week, they do now. If they think they need to train, they go gym now. They don't go gym in an hour. They don't go hire a personal trainer and go next week. They don't find a gym and think about it for next month. They don't wait till January 1st. If you feel like you need to be in shape, they go to the gym instantly. The universe, karma, the simulation, God is going to reward the instant action takers. It's no longer the knowledgeable. It is the instant action takers. Impatience is the most important word for 2026. You do not have any time anymore. Guys, patience was the weapon. Patience is how you used to escape the matrix.
Yeah.
You'd go and get a job.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
Sure.
You'd get a job. You'd work hard. You'd wait to get a promotion. You'd save up a house deposit.
Yeah.
You'd pay 10 years of mortgage. You'd add to your 401k. You were patient and you waited and you worked hard, and 1 + 1 = 2, and it all added up into your success. But that's not the case anymore. 1 + 1 doesn't even equal 1. By the time you add taxes, by the time you add inflation, by the time you add to the fact that you might get stabbed to death on your street because your entire community is falling apart.
Inheritance tax.
By the time you understand your job is never going to give you a promotion, you're never going to get paid any more money, you do not have patience. Patience has gone from the weapon, from the anti-venom to the venom. The most patient people now are going to get destroyed. Anyone who says, in 3 or 4 years, they're done. If you think in 3 or 4 years, the world we're going to live in is going to look anything like the world we live in now, you're an idiot.
And your savings are going to be worth anything more than they're worth now. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. You do not have the ability to be patient anymore. You need to panic. You need to get rich now. You need instant action. You need instant results. Impatience is the most important word for 2026. And I hope that 2025 taught you something that I said to you in an emergency meeting not too long ago, that nobody is coming to save you. The world is moving faster than it's ever moved, and you are not speeding up. You are not speeding up with the world. You are staying slow, making 6-month plans. 6 months is eternity. With AI intelligence, with quantum computing, 6 months is basically 2200. It's 200 years. You don't have time for that. You need to get impatient. You need to act now. In the chat, while Tristan talks, in the chat, write to me your plans for 2026. I want to read them. Everyone, send me your plans for 2026 and tell me you're going to start enacting them today, because 2026 isn't even guaranteed. By the time Venezuela goes to war with America and Saudi Arabia and the UAE have their proxy war in Yemen, and Ukraine and Russia go to war, and China and Taiwan and Japan go to war, who says we're even going to exist in 2026? We don't have time for this anymore.
Getting rich doesn't feel real, Andrew. How do we avoid losing hope for a reality that seems so out of reach?
So, demoralization is the greatest tool of the Matrix. They want you to believe that you don't stand a chance. The devil himself, his primary objective is to demoralize you. They're not trying to destroy you physically. They're not trying to kill you. They're trying to neuter you so that you do not resist enslavement.
Yeah, they want you alive.
They want you alive and demoralized. And as a man with any kind of red blood, any kind of fire in his soul, you must understand it is your primary objective to outwit the devil. And the devil wants you demoralized. It wants you to quit. You stand 0% chance of getting rich if you do not believe you will be rich. I will tell you exactly how to become rich, but if you don't believe you can do it, you will not follow the instructions. If you are demoralized, if the devil has infiltrated your soul and removed the fire from your eyes, then you stand precisely 0 chance of escape. Another reason you're demotivated is because everyone around you is demotivated. I said it gets harder with the doom and gloom. If you're inside the hero's year, everyone else there is going to believe in themselves. You need to find the positive enclave. You need to find the oasis. You need to find the air pocket. Do you understand? The ship has sunk. You're underground in the water. You're drowning and you're floating from deck to deck. You need to find the air pocket of optimists. Those people all exist inside of the real world. You cannot let the devil demoralize you. Demoralization is what they want. They want you to quit. They want you to give up. And the good thing for the winners is that the more people who quit, the more people who give up, the less true competition you have. You cannot, like I said earlier, talk to me about childish notions like it feels difficult to get rich. It feels hard. I lack motivation. You need to get rid of all of this. You must galvanize your iron mind. You must cement a mentality of only brutal victory. You must sit here and say, I understand that everyone else has quit. I understand everyone else is doom and gloom and black pill, but not me. I am going to escape. I do not believe that an administration is going to help me. I don't believe the world's going to get any better. I don't believe it's going to be easy. I don't care. I'm going to escape anyway. Gentlemen, before we continue, I'm trying to hypnotize all of you. I'm trying to hypnotize you into the most important decision you're going to make before 2026. And that decision is absolute impatience. If you're thinking about joining the real world, join now. If you're thinking about going to the gym, go as soon as this broadcast finishes. Drop and do push-ups as soon as this ends. Absolute monumental impatience. I want everybody to type in the chat, I am impatient. Everybody, hypnotize yourself. Tell the universe, tell the world, tell the cosmos, tell the simulation you're an impatient person. You don't want money tomorrow. You want it today. Tomorrow it's harder to make. The mountain is growing. You want it now. Type I'm impatient in the chat. That is what I want everybody who watches this stream to understand about themselves for 2026. Because the days of waiting, the days of thinking it's going to get better, the days of thinking someone's coming to save us, the days of believing in politics, the days in believing if you sit down and you work hard and you save up, it's all going to be okay. All of those doors to a life worth living are permanently shut. They are closed and they are locked. They are never coming back. You're never going to save your way to owning a house which goes up 10x in value. You're never going to get a promotion at your job that makes your life worth living. Your city's never going to get better. They are all closed. It is done. The plane is crashing. You need a parachute. You have to get out or you're going to smash into the ground. You are impatient as the plane plummets towards the earth. You need to find a parachute now. You can't find a parachute in 20 minutes. You need one now before you die. If you truly understand what I'm saying to you, type the words, hypnotize yourself, promise it to the universe that you're an impatient, instant action taker, because those are the only ones who are going to survive.